Good evening, sports fans. PBnZSportschaos coming at you. And look, he's no longer MIA. Turn off the APBs. PB is back in the studio this week. And we got our friends from Bentwater Brew. They got a beer we love. It's called the Goat Beer. And by the way, it may be the end of the GOAT in the NFL. We'll talk about that a little later on the show. We got a good one for you this week. We got our 2-minute drill as usual. We're going to talk a little bit of hockey news. Not so good for the NHL's Bruins. We're going to talk a little college bowls. And we're going to do a little NFL news update. We'll talk about this weekend's games. We'll do our pick six. PB will give us an update on our fantasy league. And we'll get right into it with the lock of the week at the end. All right, 2-minute drill. Celtics, they won the other night in Dallas, 109-103. Little asterisk on that one. Luka Doncic was missing from the game. He's out with an injury, so I don't know. But we didn't have Marcus Smart. He has double eye infections. Does that mean he's blind? I don't know. Gordon Hayward's got a knee injury. Robert Williams is hurt, so we'll see. Speaking of the NBA, Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks. They played the Lakers. The Lakers are probably the best team in the league right now. Giannis lit him up last night. Had a big game. He hit 5 3-pointers. If that guy hit 3-pointers, we're all in trouble. Hey, speaking of the NBA, PB, are you going to watch the NBA on Christmas?
That's a tough one. There's like 6 games, right?
But let me ask you a question. Going back like 15, 20 years ago,
they had 1 game on Christmas.
It wasn't that popular. I mean, I watched Emmitt Smith set the touchdown record on Christmas before I watched the NBA. When did it become a spectacle to have 6 games starting at like 11 in the morning till midnight for the NBA on Christmas? I don't get it.
And the Celtics playing one of them, right?
Yeah, I think they played that 11 a.m. game.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, speaking of basketball and hoops, we're going to get the ladies some props. You hear about this one? Juicy Landrum of Baylor University. She set the collegiate record for 3-pointers the other night. 14 3-pointers.
Wow.
Before that game, she was averaging 2 shots a game from 3-point land. She shot 23, hit 14. It's pretty good. It's better than James Harden shoots, for crying out loud.
It's 42 points right there.
I know it. If she shot just 2 points, that's 28. That's a good night, right?
Yeah,
and she shoots all threes. Hey, by the way, I just heard James Harden just shot another 3-pointer. And he missed. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of the ladies, because PBnZ is all over the sports arena. You hear this one? Fallon Sherrock from England. She won the World Dart Championship in England last week. Wow. First woman ever to win the World Dart Championship. Congratulations to you, Fallon. By the way, do you play darts?
I do.
He plays every sport that doesn't have contact in it.
Oh, yeah, right.
All right, moving on. Hey, sorry, Tom Coughlin. You hear about that? Fired from the Jags. 2-time defending Super Bowl champ for the Giants, despising that. But I love him at BC. He gets fired. And by the way, the union came out, the NFL Players Association.
Fine, right?
They said that they warn players, do not sign a free agent contract with the Jaguars. They have an inside problem with behavioral issues.
Oh, okay, yeah. And that's why Coughlin fined a guy for sitting on the bench.
That's right.
And he wasn't. I don't even think he was dressed.
And sorry, Tom. Hey, you know what? He's 70 years old, I think. You know, it's probably time.
Yeah.
Time. Speaking of that, moving on. Hey, last, before we get into our agenda, Red Sox, they paid a luxury tax for last season. A record $13.4 million luxury tax. That means their payroll is like $250 million. Yeah. And what did it buy them? Nothing. So money doesn't buy you love, apparently. By the way, the Cubs also paid a fine. Did they make the playoffs?
I don't think they did either, right?
$6.7 million. That got them nothing. The Yankees, they did make the playoffs. They paid $7.6. Did it get them a title?
Nope.
No. All right, let's move on to hockey. PB, do we have a problem? I mean, I know the Bruins have a good record. They have 50 points, but they lost 7 of the last 8.
They have. And I've been watching the games. I try to watch all the Bruins games. I was at the game down in Florida.
You were last week.
That's the one they won out of this last stretch of 7 or 8.
7 or 8, yeah.
So at least I got to see a win.
You better go to more games.
But they're not playing bad. They're starting off, they're getting leads, they're falling behind in the third period, it seems.
Okay.
I don't know if they're just like letting up a little bit or the bounce of the puck. It's just a few things can go wrong in hockey. And I think you just got to kind of find your way and get right back on it. And they will. They're too good.
They do have 50 points. What's that? Second or third
Just-
best in the
yeah,
league, right?
right.
So they have
Despite
a good
losing,
bracket.
what, seven of the
of
last
8.
eight? Yeah.
All right.
So I'm
So
not
let's
worried.
not get worried yet, right? It's still football season. Let's worry about it after football,
Well,
right?
and the thing about hockey is you know you don't have to be the 1 or 2 seed going into the playoffs.
No, look at the Blues.
Look at the Blues. I mean, you don't need to. You just got to get in the
my
playoffs,
God,
get
yeah.
hot, and start playing well. You know.
All right. There you
So-
go, fans. So, hey, Joe, you know who I'm talking about, Joe Ruffin. Do not start to hang yourself. They're going to pull it out. Don't worry about it, buddy. All right, moving on. We're going to talk a little, oh, hang on. By the way, NHL just in. Was there another coach fired this week?
NHL coach?
Yeah.
Who?
No, there wasn't. It's the first time all season.
Oh, okay.
When was the last time the NHL had more coaches fired by December than in the NFL? It's unbelievable. All right, let's move on. Joe Burrow, he won the Heisman Trophy last week. We're going to talk about his team momentarily. Bowl season started today, ironically, at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Buffalo beat Charlotte for their first ever bowl win. Good for them. It was down at Bahama where I guess it was 79 degrees and sunny. Unlike here where it was, what, 13 degrees today, BB?
Yeah, it was pretty cold.
Oh, my God.
And it
All
moved
right.
up from yesterday.
Yeah. All right. 7 bowls tomorrow. Any one of those games you're going to watch?
Yeah, there's a couple on here that I think look pretty promising. I mean, I'm flying tomorrow, so I'm going to be in the air for a little bit, and you have the NFL playing 3 games tomorrow.
It's
so
tough day to be in a bowl game.
It's
It's
tough
great
day to be
matches
in a bowl.
tomorrow.
I mean, you got 2 ranked teams playing, right? You got Boise State playing Washington. And
That's at night when there's a pretty good NFL game on. That stinks. I
Yeah.
would like to watch that. The Holiday
Yeah.
Bowl. I mean, the New
Las
Mexico
Vegas
Bowl. Oh, Las Vegas Bowl. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and then you got Appalachian State, huge favorites actually against UAB in the New Orleans Bowl.
Yeah.
And that one's at 9 o'clock at night. So,
Ooh, all right.
but those are the only 2 ranked teams that are playing.
How about
tomorrow.
during the week? Is there any games during the week leading up to the CFP playoffs on the 28th that you would watch?
You know,
I got one for you. The Holiday Bowl on the 27th. USC's 22 in the country. They're playing number 16 Iowa. That's going to be a good game. The Holiday Bowl is always a shootout for some reason or other.
yeah, that could be a good one. Yeah. That's probably in Oklahoma State. They're another ranked team. They're playing at A&M. They're playing A&M in the Texas Bowl.
That'll be a good one. Down
That'll
in
be good.
Texas, Longhorn State. All right, PB, you won't be with us next week, so give us your predictions right now. The CFP playoff, you got Oklahoma the first game playing LSU 4-1, and then you've got Ohio State 2-3 against Clemson.
Yeah.
Who do you like in those semifinals?
I mean, I know they're the obvious picks, but I'm going LSU and Ohio State. I think they're destined to meet in the final.
Now, Ohio State is not the obvious. Clemson's the favorite in that game.
Yeah, but Ohio State just right. They're
No, not
they're-
right. I
well,
don't
no,
agree. I don't agree. I think-
They've annihilated their opponents all year long.
I think Clemson wins the game handily against the rookie coach, and I think LSU
Really?
squeaks it out in a barn burner against Oklahoma, which I would not be surprised if Oklahoma did upset him because Jalen Hurts is a little hurt about not getting the Heisman against his competitor Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So you never know, but I think it's LSU and I think it's Clemson. Dabo Swinney's a better coach.
All right, I'm going to go Ohio State, and regardless of who wins that game, LSU is going to win the whole thing. I'll make that prediction now. LSU is going to be a national champ this year.
If Clemson beats Ohio State, they win it
They
all.
play like a pro team. LSU.
To a degree, other than their defense. A little suspect.
Well,
on the
I was
defense side.
talking about Joe Burrow in the offense.
Oh, yeah. You know, I agree. All right. Let's get into this NFL stuff. So you just mentioned it momentarily ago. We got some really good games tomorrow. You start with the Titans going to go to. Oh no, Texans go to
Houston's
Tampa
going
Bay.
to Tampa, which will be a
And
good
if
game.
they win, Tampa wins. Texans win. They clinch the division.
Yep.
Tampa Bay has no shot anymore, but they've been playing good.
Well, because Evans and Godwin are both out.
Oh, right, but
Yeah.
they have been playing good. And goddamn, what's his name? The quarterback down there, Jameis Winston,
Yeah, he's been
450 yards the last 2 games.
Yeah, I know. I went up against him in my fantasy league.
So that'll be a good game to warm it up. Then you got the midday game at 4:30 around dinner time for the division title. Pats going for their 11th consecutive AFC East title.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The Bills playing better. We'll talk about the picks momentarily and the Pats. I still think the Bills are not going to be able to beat the Pats in New England, right?
I'm gonna pick the Patriots this
I
week,
am
but
as well.
I'm not like 100% like, oh my god, no problem. This is an easy match.
We'll get to that momentarily.
It's tough.
And then the nightcap. That's a pretty good game as well. You've got the Rams going to the 49ers.
Yeah, that'll be
The
really
49ers should win that game, do you think? But the Rams, I mean, they didn't show up last
They're a
week.
Jekyll and Hyde team.
They are,
They
right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, we're going to get right into this Pats thing. Because, PB, I know we said the GOAT. I say he's done. He's no longer the GOAT. Last week he showed a lot of fallacy. I'm kind of sick of the blame being put on the wide receivers at this point in time. I think he deserves a lot of the blame at this juncture.
You know what? I see your point, and I know that's kind of the direction that everyone's heading in right now, and most of the media is heading in that direction as well.
Sorry,
put the money on the line. Put him in a situation where it's do or die, and they will not get to play the next week if he doesn't make a play. And I think things change a little bit in that respect, just because of his experience, because of his gut, and what
right.
I mean, don't you agree? I mean,
well, no. And here's what I'm going to give you. My observation as a guy that played DB collegiately, a little semi-pro. As a DB, if you think the quarterback cannot beat you deep, you tend to play more aggressive at the line of scrimmage. You bump your receivers. So what's the one thing we hear? The receivers can't get open. Why? DBs are more aggressive at the line of scrimmage. They bump them right off the line. They beat them up. Because you know why? No one believes that Brady can beat you deep. If I'm a DB, and even if I think Mohamed Sanu can beat me in a foot race, but I don't think that Brady can make the pass, I'm going to try to mug Mohamed at the line of scrimmage and let Brady take a shot. And we saw that last week. Perfect example. Second quarter, in the end zone, Mohamed was open by 20 yards. And what happened?
Yep.
Brady sealed it over his head.
Yep.
So I would say this. I don't think because he cannot show that he can throw deep, that DBs are afraid of him. Now listen, this is not new. He's never been able to throw deep. The only year he ever threw deep was in 2007 when Randy Moss was there.
Yeah.
And he caught everything because he had 4.2 speed. Brady's never been able to throw deep, and now it's finally paying it off, and I think the NFL is no longer afraid of the guy. The mystique's over, I hate to say it.
I'm definitely agreeing with you, but until I see it actually happen, not in a regular season game.
I agree, we got to see it happen.
I got to see it happen in an actual game that matters. And this weekend, technically, you could say matters because this is the difference between getting a first-round bye or not.
And PB, we saw a little bit of this last year, and we said the same thing after that Miami debacle with you and I were both at, right? Which he did have a good game, and we said, well, it's not Brady's fault. He can still throw the ball, but this year we don't see it. And I've got one thing to add to that. 3 Super Bowl winners since 2000 played on a great defensive team like Brady is now, right? That was Trent Dilfer in 2001 for the Ravens.
Right.
Brad Johnson in 2003 for Tampa Bay, and then Joe Flacco in 2013 for the Ravens again. All of those guys, none of them are great quarterbacks by any means. Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer,
right.
They all had a better season that year than Brady has right now. So I'm a little bit alarmed that maybe the light switch cannot be turned on. What do you think?
That's a very good point. I mean, the offense has been lethargic. There's no question about it.
Yeah. I mean, we could blame it on the offensive line, I guess. That is true. They are culprits there on the O-line. But they've had, 4 major injuries, 3 injuries, 2 retirements they didn't expect? It's a tough season. All right, we'll talk about who we think will win the game momentarily. I got to ask. So, as we all know, we play this fake football thing called fantasy. We have our little Survivor League. Casey Josh is running away with this thing? Is that correct?
I wouldn't say he's running away with it. He's won the last couple of weeks, but everyone else is right on his tail.
All right.
He does. He did win the week. G1 he won the week. Right?
Oh, G-Money last week. Okay.
Yeah.
He's got some players on his roster.
Yeah. And
they're all healthy.
And then you had Josh still in the lead for the year.
All right.
And he's got.
So he can be caught.
Oh yeah, he can get caught.
Okay. All right.
Not by you, unfortunately, but by G-Money and myself.
Thanks, Big Ben, for going down with an injury. That really hurt me.
Oh, I heard you because you had Juju.
Yeah, Juju. Yeah. All right. Hey, pick 6. By the way, you had a good week in pick 6 last week, huh?
I did. I think I went 5-1.
All right. Hey,
the
by
only
the
game
way,
I lost was the Titans.
By the way, Z is 56-28, and you are 53-31 for the season.
Okay, so you actually took those 0-6s off the board when I wasn't present. Okay.
You should deserve it.
you.
All right. We'll go through our pick.
So I got 3 games. I got to catch 3 games on.
All right, here we go. We're going to get right into it. The pick 6.
All right.
Bills versus the Pats. All right, so we just talked about the Pats need to win this to keep the AFC title and streak alive. But more importantly, Paul, BB, I got to ask you, don't they have to win the next 2?
Well, no. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So no, the Patriots only have to win 1 of the last 2. So if they lose to Buffalo, as long as they beat Miami, they still win the division.
But no, what I'm thinking about is home field.
Well, right.
And the bye, the treasured bye. You
right.
need the bye.
So that's what I'm. So if they need, because KC has full, if they have the same amount of losses as KC, then KC would then get the bye.
So they're gonna win out
unless KC loses 1 of the last 2 games. They're
Which
playing
is a
at
tough
Chicago,
game. We're gonna
right?
pick that one in a
I don't know
minute.
who they got the final week, but Yes, and then the more important thing about that is the 6 Super Bowls the Patriots have won with Brady, not one of those were they not a first-round bye.
Not one. They won without a bye. Wait a minute. You sure?
100%.
The first one, they were a wild card, I thought.
No, they were a number 1 or number 2 seed each one.
Even in 2001?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. When they beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
The Rams.
No, I mean they beat the Raiders in the snow game. I mean,
Okay.
That was the Raiders snow game.
Okay, all right.
But they were the 1
All
the 2. They were the 1 or the 2.
They were 2. Yeah. All right. Wow. So if they don't get the bye, technically they're out of it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to
All
win
right.
3 games to get to the
All right.
Super Bowl.
So give us your pick. Bills versus Pats. You said Pats.
I'm saying Pats. I'm not
All right.
gung ho on them, but I'm going to give them the nod.
They never lose the Bills in December.
Yeah, I know, but
All right.
it's a different team, right?
I would just add one other thing, PB. I am a little bit worried if they do win that game, they get the division title. Remember, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? That last game against Miami, they took the game off, they rushed the starters, they lost, and then they lost the number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, that's the year they had to go into Denver and they lost the AFC Championship.
16 against Peyton.
Yeah, but they can't afford to do that this year because they would lose the first round bye.
They'd be screwed, right?
Losing home field and still being the 2 seed is different than going from 2 to 3 and not
Yeah.
getting them. Because then you have to
So if
play
they're going
next
to rest, they're going to rest during the bye week. They can't rest next week against Miami.
No.
All right.
Which is why they really need to get the bye.
All right, Rams versus 49ers. This could have been a good game, but the Rams have been heckling Jai all season. I mean, technically they're still in it if they win, but I don't know. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Francisco in that game.
I do too. Although they're on a little slide, right? Haven't they lost 2 out of 3?
Yeah, or 3 out of 5 or something.
3 out of 5, yeah. Saints go down to the Titans. The Titans need this thing to still stay in it. I think they have no shot, right? If the Texans win, we're going to pick that momentarily, but if the Texans win, it's all done, right?
Yeah, they'll clinch there.
All right.
But they're still, they could still even get.
So you like the Saints?
Yeah,
I like the Saints.
The Saints,
as well.
yeah.
All right.
Even though they're on the road, they're still.
All right,
still
this is one I don't want to touch. Last week I didn't want to touch it either, and I went the opposite of my feelings, and I lost. You beat me.
Your boys.
This is a playoff game, so legitimately on Sunday we have a playoff game. We have one tomorrow with the Bills and Pats, but Sunday the Cowboys and Eagles is legitimately a playoff game because one of them is eliminated. Who wins?
Yeah, I think actually it's the same situation with the Patriots. I think if the Cowboys win, the Eagles are out. But if the Eagles win, then the Cowboys can still win the division if they win and Philly loses next.
Correct.
Week. So,
right.
So
Either
Cowboys
way,
they're in a better position than Philly is. But all that being said, it's at Philly. You know what? You want to kind of give the edge to Philly because they're in Philadelphia in the home field because they're that close. But I just think the Cowboys are the more talented team. Can they put it together? But they are the more talented team. Wouldn't you agree? The Eagles receivers are a little,
I am finally convinced the worst problem with the Cowboys is coaching.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's what
the offense coordinator, head coach, even defense coordinator. I used to like Rod Marinelli, but they can't even tackle.
But would you say they're more talented?
Definitely more talented,
Okay.
but does the coaching staff show up?
Right.
Or do they lose their luggage in Kansas City?
I mean, you got Zeke, you got Amari, you got Dak. Dak is supposedly healthy.
So who are you picking?
I'm going to go Cowboys.
I'm going to pick Cowboys as well.
All right.
All right. Sunday night, we got Chiefs versus the Bears. Bears need to survive. They got a slim sliver of hope. Chiefs are on fire right now.
Yeah.
They're rolling. Mahomes seems to be injury-free. What do you think?
Yeah, the Bears just haven't done it this year. Their offense is not good.
Is Trubisky done with
I
that?
know
Is he gone after this season? Did they get rid of him?
I think they kind of like him there. They do. But I'm going to go.
If
Even
you
though
lived in Chicago, would you like him?
No.
No.
All right, it's at Chicago, but you're right. KC's hot right now, and they're fighting for that first round bye. They know if the Patriots drop a game, they got it. So Chiefs.
I'm with you on that one. All right, the big one on Monday night. This is NFC Central title conversation. Packers versus Vikings in Minnesota.
Oh, that's going to be a great game. That's going to be a great game. I'm gonna take Minnesota. I like Minnesota. I know they're minus Dalvin Cook. Probably if it was.
Is he definitely out?
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
out. If they were playing in Green Bay, I would probably take Green Bay.
I would
But
agree
because
with
they're playing in Minnesota, I'm going to take Minnesota.
So you can't catch me. I'm taking the Vikings as well.
Oh, all right. So all 6 of the picks are the same.
All 6 are the same. All right. Lock of the week. G Money. He's texted me early. He couldn't be on tonight. He couldn't call in. His lock of the week, he's got the Panthers Getting 7 versus the Colts, and I gotta believe that's a really good pick. I don't see how the Colts. They may win the game. There's no way they make up 7 points.
Yeah, and it obviously must be at Indy, right?
It is an Indy. Yeah. All right, you got a surprise one.
Yeah,
for us.
I have a surprise one. I'm going to go off the board, off the game board, if you will, and I'm going to go with the under 37 in the Pats-Bills game.
Oh!
That's my lock. I cannot see the Patriots putting up more than 20 points against the Bills. And the interesting stat, do you know the Patriots...
So 19-14.
Do you know the Patriots score 20 points or more? They haven't lost this year. They're 7-0.
Right.
And when their opponents score
more than 20,
they're 0-3. So the Patriots won a few games where they've scored under 20, which I think is what will happen this week. I think it's going to be one of those, 14-6, 17-7 kind of games. So I'm loving the under.
So you heard it. PB says under 37. You bettors out there in the Pats versus Bills. You know what? If the weather was like today, tomorrow, which is not going to be unfortunately, but you would probably be right on that one, 100%.
It's still going to be a pretty cold day.
I think it's 40 degrees, right? Yeah. But considering it was 13 today with a minus 4 wind chill or whatever it was this morning. All right. Hey, fans, BB, he'll be calling in on the next couple of shows. He's traveling. He's going to be in vacation land for a few weeks. Thank you very much for showing up, brother. Fans, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you next week. G-Money's back. We'll be live at another bar someplace. Take care.
And Merry Christmas, everyone.